السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم. أما بعد. Welcome back to MaShaAllah AudiOBooks-English.
Today we share an extraordinary, authentic story from Sahih al-Bukhari, a narrative of unshakable faith, total trust in Allah, and an astounding miracle of a fulfilled promise. Grab a warm cup of tea, open your heart, and let us begin today's journey. How far would you go to fulfill a solemn promise when every single human avenue is utterly blocked? Imagine standing on the edge of a vast, roaring ocean, holding a fortune in your hands, knowing that breaking your word is simply not an option. Centuries ago, in the ancient lands of Banu Isra'il, a deeply pious believer found himself in urgent need of business capital to provide for his family and expand his trade. He sought out a wealthy, respected man in the town, a noble believer known for his generosity, and humbly requested a massive loan of 1,000 gold coins. In those days, 1,000 gold coins was a life-changing fortune, a vast sum capable of purchasing lands, herds, and merchant fleets. The wealthy lender, operating with wise and practical caution, looked at the man and said, "Bring forth trustworthy witnesses so that we may have formal, reliable proof of this substantial transaction." The borrower, possessing a heart overflowing with pure, unyielding faith, looked back into his eyes and replied with utmost calm, "Allah is sufficient as a witness." Astonished by the man's immediate turn toward the divine, the lender took a step back, thought for a moment, and said, "Then bring me a guarantor, a reliable, wealthy benefactor who will guarantee that my gold will be returned if disaster strikes your journey." Once again, without a single second of hesitation or doubt, the believer answered, "Allah is sufficient as a guarantor." These simple, powerful words echoed through the room with such spiritual weight that the lender's heart melted completely. He saw no greed, no deceit, and no arrogance in the borrower's eyes, only absolute, trembling sincerity. Overcome with awe, the wealthy man said, "You have spoken the truth." Without demanding a single parchment to be signed, without calling a single witness into the room, and without a third-party guarantor, he handed over the massive purse of 1,000 shiny gold coins. Bound only by their sacred oath before the Almighty, they established a strict, agreed-upon date for full repayment. Securing the funds, the borrower boarded a trade vessel and sailed across the treacherous blue sea to a distant, bustling foreign port. By the grace and blessing of Allah, every market he touched turned to profit. His goods sold rapidly, his capital doubled, and his venture prospered far beyond his wildest dreams. But his eyes remained fixed on the calendar. He was not distracted by his newfound wealth. His mind was consumed by a single burning duty: returning those 1,000 gold coins on the exact day he had promised. As the day of repayment rapidly approached, he gathered the full sum of 1,000 gold coins, packed his bags, and hurried to the crowded coastal docks, eager to secure passage back across the sea. Suddenly, nature struck. Dark, ominous storm clouds rolled across the sky, and violent gales battered the coastline. The sea transformed into a churning vortex of crashing waves. Port authorities immediately grounded all ships. Day after agonizing day, the believer stood at the edge of the wooden pier, scanning the stormy horizon, pleading with captain after captain to brave the waters, but every single sailor refused. "Setting sail in this storm is absolute suicide," they warned him. Panic could easily have gripped any ordinary man. Human logic dictated that he was entirely excused. The weather was an act of God, and no one could blame him for being late. But this was no ordinary man. To him, an oath taken with Allah as the guarantor was a sacred bond that could not be delayed by mere circumstance. His conscience burned with an intense, desperate need to fulfill his promise. Driven by an extraordinary level of faith, he turned toward an unprecedented plan. He searched the shore until he found a solid, heavy log of wood. Taking a chisel and an axe, he painstakingly carved out a hollow chamber inside the heart of the timber. Inside this wooden vault, he carefully counted and placed all 1,000 gold coins. Beside the gold, he placed a small, emotional letter detailing his desperate struggle, his failed attempts to board a ship, and his unwavering desire to honor his word. Then he sealed the opening with heavy resin and waterproof wax, smoothing it over until the log looked like nothing more than an ordinary piece of floating driftwood. Holding the heavy log in his trembling hands, he walked down to the edge of the roaring, foamy surf. Cold rain poured over his face as he looked up toward the heavens and poured out his soul in prayer. "O Allah, you know full well that I borrowed 1,000 gold coins from my brother. When he demanded a guarantor, I declared that you were sufficient as a guarantor, and in your holy name he trusted me. When he demanded a witness, I declared that you were sufficient as a witness, and in your name he handed over his wealth. I have strived with every ounce of my strength to find a ship to convey his property to him on time, but every path has been closed. O Lord of the heavens and the earth, I now entrust this wealth directly into your holy keeping." With a mighty toss, he cast the heavy wooden log far into the dark, crashing waves. The raging sea swallowed the log, swirling it away into the endless ocean depths. Standing drenched on the shore, the man watched it disappear, praying that the ocean currents would carry it home, while he continued to wait at the port, determined to find the very first ship to travel in person.
Meanwhile, across the vast sea, the appointed day of repayment had arrived. The wealthy lender walked down to the local beach, his cloak fluttering in the cool coastal breeze. He scanned the distant horizon with high hopes, wondering if his brother would arrive on a morning vessel. Hour after hour passed, but the sea remained empty of ships. Disappointed and assuming the rough weather had delayed all travel, he turned to walk back home. As he stepped along the sandy shoreline, his eyes caught sight of a strange, dark log of wood washed up near the rocks, wet with seawater. Thinking to himself that it was a fortunate find that would at least provide warm firewood for his family on a chilly evening, he hauled the heavy log out of the surf, swung it onto his shoulder, and carried it back to his estate. Inside his home, he set the log down beside his hearth, picked up a sharp axe, and struck the wood hard to split it down the middle. Crack! The log split wide open, and to his sheer, breathtaking shock, a brilliant stream of gleaming gold coins spilled across the floor, echoing loudly through the room. Nestled right beside the sparkling treasure was a tightly rolled, dry piece of parchment. Hands trembling, the lender picked up the letter and unrolled it. As he read the emotional words written by the borrower, describing the storm, the docks, and his desperate prayer at the water's edge, tears streamed down the lender's face. He realized he was looking at an absolute, undeniable miracle. Allah himself had guided a simple piece of wood across miles of stormy, chaotic ocean waters directly to his feet on the exact day promised. Several days later, the violent storm finally cleared and the ocean calmed. The borrower immediately boarded the very first ship that set sail, clutching a fresh second purse containing another 1,000 gold coins. He arrived at the lender's doorstep, exhausted, pale with worry, and deeply remorseful. Approaching the lender, he held out the heavy bag of gold and pleaded, "By Allah, my brother, I searched frantically day and night for a ship to bring your money on time, but by God, no vessel could brave the storm until today. Please accept this payment and forgive my unavoidable delay." The lender looked at him with immense warmth and a joyful smile. "Tell me, my noble brother, did you happen to send me anything before today?" He lowered his head, answering honestly, "I have already told you that I could not find a single ship before today. How could I possibly have sent you anything beforehand?" The lender placed a gentle, comforting hand on his brother's shoulder, his eyes filled with tears of wonder, and said, "Rejoice, for Almighty Allah has already delivered the exact gold coins and the beautiful letter you placed inside that wooden log. He carried it across the sea to my very doorstep. Keep your 1,000 coins. Go back to your family in joy and prosperity. Your debt has already been fully paid by the Lord of the worlds."
Subhanallah, what a beautiful reminder of the power of sincere faith and trust in Allah. Next time, inshallah, we will return with another authentic narrative from the Sahih Hadith that will inspire your heart and strengthen your faith. If this story moved you, please give this video a like, leave your thoughts in the comments below, and share it with your friends and family. Don't forget to subscribe to MaShaAllah AudiOBooks-English and click the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Until next time, may Allah bless you all. Jazakallahu khairan and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.